and welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and in today's tutorial we're going to explore the shells with front and back post stitches square. Another big mouthful here. Look at this. This is very much like cabling in my opinion. This looks incredible. Of all the squares of the 10, I think this one's my favorite. I think this one has a lot of potential. Once you understand this, you could do a really looking gorgeous afghan, something that may look higher end by just using a stitch such as this. So this is a really great concept. In the pattern it calls for 3.75 millimeter size F crochet hook. Today I'm using a size 6 millimeter size J, and in stitchcation in our sample afghan that we have is that we used a 5 millimeter or a size I. The reason why that there's different hook sizes is that this pattern is very versatile, that the stitch work is basically you can mix and match it as long as the hook and the yarn complement each other. So without further ado, let's get started and working on this one of my most favorite squares of the 10. So let's begin just grabbing our yarn. Let's make a slip knot and let's get started. And we just want to insert our hook, and remember that this never counts as one. So we need to chain 36. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and please go all the way to number 36. I'll meet you back in just a moment. So my 36 is now done and we're ready to go. So what we're going to do is that we're going to single crochet along this chain, but you just have to pay attention to what you're doing here. So you have to go second chain from the hook. So here's 1 and 2, and we simply turn the chain over and get the back loop only. Okay, once you turn it over you're going to single crochet. And once you do that, the chain will naturally turn over and you will start seeing these back loops popping up straight up. And you're going to single crochet into each one of these. The reason why you're doing this is that it provides a fabulous edge for anything that you want to do. Perfect even for babies' clothing, etc., where you know you don't have a lot of room to play with borders and etc. Even afghans, you end up with a better edge working on the back loops than you would on just doing conventional chains. That is in my opinion. So let's just single crochet all the way across. So I've now come all the way back to the end and I've kind of reviewed the instructions because I want to get it right for you. So the way that we're starting is that we're not actually doing the front or the back post yet. We're not ready for that because we have to build a foundation. This is very much like some of the other stitchcation stuff we've been working on, where you need to go a couple rows before you can actually start doing front or back posts. So let's begin, and we are going to chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and we simply just double crochet into the next two stitches. Okay, very easy. So now we're going to create a shell. Now like typically like any instructions is that there always is abbreviations. So what is a shell? You will notice that it's 2 double crochets as well as chain 2 and 2 double crochets. So you have to, in the instructions it says skip the next 2 stitches, so 1 and 2, and you want to do a shell. So it's 2 double crochet into the same stitch, okay, chain 2 and 2 double crochet into the same stitch, and that is the shell work. So now we're going to skip 2 more stitches and then double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So this is existing in between the shells. So you'll notice that when we started before the shell there was chaining of 3 and then 2 double crochet. So that is your group of 3. Here's your next group of 3 and etc. The way that this pattern works, let me just skip over 2 and do the next shell. The shell, remember, is 2 double crochet, a chain 2, 2 double crochet. So the way this pattern works is that the stitch work balances itself within each other. So you actually have the perfect count in order to keep balance if you're working on this project. Skip 2 and then 3 double crochet into the in a row. That is a treble that I just did. Let me just back that out and get that double crochet in. The interesting thing is that when you start working on these squares, sometimes you pick up lessons from the other squares that you start instinctively doing that you're not supposed to. So skip 2 and then shell into the next. That's your third one. This one is my most favorite square of them all. I think it just looks amazing. This is something, if it was done in the right yarn and the right colors, it would look like something that was store made. that people would pay a lot of money for. I really think that. It's a really great concept, and you know, it's capable that we, the average crocheter, can do it. So I'm skipping over 2, shelling into the next, which is 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and then we're skipping 2, and you should end up with 3 double crochets at the end. Look at that, perfect count. And that completes that row. So you can see the cabling idea hasn't really taken effect yet. That's because we haven't done the front or the back posts, but that's coming up really soon. So we're now at the end. We're going to turn our work, and this is when it gets a little complicated. There's 2 rows that we need to concentrate on, and these are what the 2 are coming up. So the next 2 rows are what you need to do, and the reason for it is that when you're turning your work back and forth, that the front posts change on the side, so therefore you're crocheting on the front post one side, and then when you turn it you're crocheting on the back post. But let me just get you started. So we're going to chain 3 first, 1, 2 and 3, and in the rules of crochet that equals a double crochet. We are going to do a front post double crochet already into the first one that you see. Okay, so not that one, but the next one over, and we're going to do a front post into that one and to the next one. So just coming in to the side, just like so. I should have actually, so let me review that one more time. What you're going to do is that you're going to skip, and you're just going to go right into the middle of the shell and do another shell. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. I'm going to review that front post. I actually made an assumption that you already know it. So so here you go. You have 3 here. We need to convert these into front posts. So we wrap, we come into one side of the post, pop it out the other side, and then just double crochet as normal. And what this is doing is it's lifting it outward and pulling it up. Okay, so it's giving it depth. And then you're going to do in shell. So shell's 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. I'm gonna review that one more time because I'll explain something else. So we're just gonna skip, and you see the next 3, those are front posts. So when we turn our work, what's gonna happen is that these front posts are gonna end up being on the back post, and because of that we want to maintain this pattern only on one side of the afghan. So when we go to work on it in the next row, it's actually going to be on the other side, back post. So that's why there's front post and back post instructions, because it's the way that this project is being continually turned as it's going back and forth on the rows. So it's nothing really complicated as long as you understand that point. So I'll meet you at the end, and I'll get you started on the next row. Now I'm coming all the way to the end of the line. We are going to do our front post, okay, only for the two of them. The third one we're just going to put in a regular double crochet into the top of the chain 3. Okay, so that exists. So there only appear to be 2, even though there's 3 stitches, 2 that are popping out, and you have that effect on both sides. So let's turn our work, and now it's going to be interesting. So now we have to maintain the pattern, but we have to maintain it from the back side. So that's what changes everything from being front post to back post. So to begin, we are going to chain 3. So 1 and 2 and 3. So this time, last time it said to go into the front post. Now you could go into the front post depending on what pattern you're doing, but in this case they want everything to be on one side. So don't think that it's you know, you're trapping your creativity in that way. So we're going to wrap, and this time we're going to come around to the back of the project, out through the back, and just out again, getting the front post like so. Grab the yarn and then double crochet as normal. Okay, so you're maintaining the pattern than what you see. So you can see that these are posts that have been front posts, but this time they're back posts. So wrap and come into the post, so turn it over, grab the post and double crochet as normal. And what this is doing is it's keeping the posts on the back side. Okay, so it's not pulling them forward. So now we're going to shell. So 2 double crochet and chain 2 and 2 double crochet. So let's work on this one here. So you have 3 in a row. we're on the back side. You can see how this line is jumping out towards you, so you can tell you're on the back, but you want to maintain this. So you're gonna back post, so you're just coming around the back, popping it up and out. Because this is kind of lacy in that way, it's easy to access these stitches. I have to say, when I first started doing back post double crochet many years ago, I found it really awkward, and that's because you're just not used to it. So don't give up on yourself if you find it's awkward in the very beginning, because I'm making it look easy on screen. That's because I've had a lot of practice, and I felt like once I got onto a pattern, I just, you know, how to hold the pattern, how to make it easier for your eyes, how to make it accessible for your hands becomes part of your learning when it comes to crochet. And don't give up on yourself if it looks a bit difficult. The advantage to doing back post and front post double crochet, what it does is it compacts the pattern, so you'll notice that the double crochet is not as high, so therefore you'll use up more yarn, but you have an effect that is more cooler. So what I want you to do is continue to do the same thing, shelling all where you need to shell, doing the back post where you need to back post, and at the end of the line I'll see you then, and we'll just review one more time. When you get to the end of the line, you have your 3 stitches, but only the final 2 will have the back post, and then the final stitch you're just going to double crochet into the top of the beginning of the chain 3. So again, this, remember what I said, so let's turn our work and we can review. So the 2 here will appear standing out, this one will be appear step back, and then voila. So let's review one more time. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that amazing? So let's review one more time. We're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and this time the posts are in front of you, therefore it's a front post double crochet. If you don't want to read the instructions, you can just see it's right there. So we wrap and we maintain that. So we're just going to maintain that front post double crochet for both of them. See that? And then shell. It is really easy. It's an amazing pattern. Now I'm using a larger hook than it is recommended, but so if you use a tighter hook, this will appear really quite amazing, and in the right yarn it'd be amazing. So let's again, so you have 3, they're stepping out in front of your face, and so we want to maintain that, so that's the front post double crochet for those 3 as well. So hopefully you understand this pattern by now, and just follow the instructions if you want to create it for Stitchcation, the sampler Afghan project. And until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. Thank you so much, and join me next time where we have more stitching ideas and projects to follow. Until then, see ya.